What's up, everyone? Brainprince coming from my free-to-play account, Stinkbug. Also in the Bottom Feeders clan. I want to share with you a match I just played against caballerooscuro from the Copa Chispitas clan. Oops, wrong button. There's another one of those matches where the first 2 minutes and 30 seconds I didn't do a whole lot of things right. I enjoyed playing comeback victories with everyone because it gives you guys an opportunity to see how to correct errors that are made along the way. And aces, I'm sorry, this has a Sparky in it. I promise next video I post will have no legendary cards in it. I have a deck that I got a few playbacks I've recorded to share with you, so I got you. Don't worry about that. However, this particular match, I do have a legendary card in it, and it is the Sparky. It's one of the first legendary cards you can get, so hopefully you get it soon. Anyhow, this is caballerooscuro from the Copa Chispitas clan, and he's playing a hog deck with Fire Spirits, Minions, Inferno Tower, Valk, Ice Wizards, Bomber, and Zap. It's a very low cost deck, 3.3 elixir cost. Obviously, the plan is to get his hog to my tower as many times as possible, because most of the other cards are defensive cards. The Inferno Tower, the Ice Wizard, the Fire Spirits, the Bomber, the Zap, the Valk. All of them can be used, well, other than, I guess the Inferno Tower even could be used for attack in very specific situations, but most of those cards are used defensively. I am running a deck that I built myself. It is based around the Giant Skeleton and the Sparky. It includes the Skeleton Army, Skarmy, the Witch, the Arrows, the Furnace, the Bomber, and Fire Spirits. It's 4.0 average elixir deck. I like to keep it there or below, unless you're running a pump. I try to stay below 4 average, and even that is pushing it. I'd much rather be down around 3.6, 3.7, but in any case, those are the decks we're playing, and we're playing ladder. We're playing. Excuse me, I'm sorry. We're playing ladder play here in the Royal Arena. And without further ado, I would like to begin the match. We'll start off allowing each other elixir courtesy to get our elixir to full, which is 10. And he will then begin with a hog in the back. And he throws down a Valkyrie and Fire Spirits right at the bridge for shielding. The intent there is to use the Valkyrie and the Fire Spirits to clear out the way for the hog. You saw he zapped my tower, and the Furnace lured all of it. Again, that drop for my Furnace was 4 down from the river, 3 from the path, and it lured his entire push. It lured the hog, it lured the Valk, it lured the Fire Spirits, and I was able to handle that entire push with the Furnace and the Bomber. So we actually had a +2. We were up. I was a positive elixir trade of 2 elixir, which means that's a great defense. So I have a Bomber left over with no intentions of starting a push right now. I don't like to put the Sparky down too early in the match. I only want to put Sparky down when I know I can get something out of it. And I don't want to let him know that I have Sparky too early if I can avoid it. Unless I know it's going to just walk right over whatever he does. But at this point, I don't know what he has. You know, I've seen 3 of his cards. So I don't know what else is in his hand right now. So that's why I left it be at this point. That's why I didn't put Sparky down right now. So I'll leave the Bomber to go across the bridge by himself, and I think at this point, yeah, all right, there we go. I play a Witch, trying to get something, trying to see what he's got still, and he puts his Bomber down. I put my Skeleton Army down, and just to let you know, the Skeleton Army is very weak against splash damage. So there you see a little Bomber at 3 elixir just handled my Witch, which is 5 elixir, and my Skeleton Army, which is 3 elixir. So any positive elixir trade that I just created just went out the door, because he is now has the advantage by taking out 8 elixir worth of my troops for 3. So there's 2 little skeletons there left over spawned from my witch. He put the ice wizard down, and he puts the hog to meet him at the bridge. There, I think he intended for his ice wizard to be in front of the hog there, to do a little bit of tanking and to slow down anything that was coming after them. If the wizard had been in front of the hog there, not only would the wizard have tanked those fire spirits, he would have been able to shoot the furnace with his his snowball, whatever it is. It would have done damage to the furnace, and it would have also slowed the furnace's production down. But his hog got in front of him there. So the hog ends up taking the brunt of that damage, while the ice wizard fires in from behind. I put my bomber down, and now my bomber is able to handle his ice wizard and the hog along with the furnace. So, although he's got the elixir advantage at this point in the game, he throws those minion downs quick to deal with that bomber, and I believe that right there was a waste of 3 elixir. If all he was doing was getting rid of that bomber, he could have left that bomber go. He might have gotten one tossed in on the tower, but the tower could have been able to handle that bomber, and he would have still had an advantage on elixir. But as a result, we're now back to being even on elixir, because neither of us are keeping an eye on what the other one's playing, and we're both just throwing cards out there willy-nilly style. So the minions, I don't worry about them. They're only going to get a couple hits off. My tower's going to be able to deal with that without a problem. And again, he's going to sorry about that. Let's put it on regular speed there. It's getting a little bit slow there. He puts the fire spirits down along with the Valkyrie right at the bridge. They make it all the way to my tower, because I decided that now that I have a full elixir, I'm going to wait till his troops to get to my tower and start hitting me before I decide to attack. That could have lost me the game. That was absolutely insane. I let a Valkyrie and a group of fire spirits get all the way to my tower without putting up any type of defense. Now, granted, I did have only the Sparky. I had the cards in my hand. There's no reason I should have waited that long to put anything down. I was just a horrible, horrible play on my part. And as a result, I lose about 1,000 hit points to that Valkyrie and the Fire Spirit. My bomber took care of it, and I've got a great elixir advantage here, which gave me the ability to play the Giant Skeleton where I played the Giant Skeleton. And again, he puts that hog down behind the Ice Wizard. I think he's trying to do some sort of like hog push with the Ice Wizard and the Hog Rider. It's just not working out very well. So his Ice Wizard handles my Skeleton Army. My Skeleton Army handled his hog along with some shots from the tower, and I put another furnace down to help my Giant Skeleton handle any like aggro damage from around the sides. The Ice Wizard does enough. It slows my Giant Skeleton down enough to give himself time to build up elixir to be able to play that Inferno Tower right there. I had the bomber behind my Giant Skeleton, but that Inferno's beam of fire and damage had already locked onto my Giant Skeleton, and there was nothing that Giant Bomber was going to do about it. He did eventually get the tower taken down, but he doesn't do enough damage to eliminate the damage done to my Giant Skeleton. So here we are. We're both resetting our elixir. I'm at full elixir. He's coming up on full elixir, and we're both about to get started again here. I put the witch down with my with the fire spirits from the furnace. We're going to handle that Valkyrie puts down right at the bridge without a problem. And after we handle that Valkyrie, the bomber is going to take care of my witch. The problem with the witch is she's very weak without anything else. She doesn't have very many hit points. She doesn't do very much damage. It's the skeletons that she spawns that really makes her a useful troop. But there you see, a bomber was able to take her out all by himself. I put my Giant Skeleton down. And I try to meet him at the bridge with my Sparky. This time the Inferno Tower locks onto my giant skeleton. My giant skeleton was at full health, but this time, that's how you want to play the giant skeleton. You want to have troops behind him, so when he dies, that giant bomb that he drops doesn't go wasted. If you don't have any troops behind the giant skeleton when he dies, then whatever he was attacking is going to make it past that bomb before it explodes, and then you lose the usefulness of that bomb, which is a key component of playing the giant skeleton. If you're going to play the giant skeleton, you have to plan on, when he dies, making sure that bomb gets used. Otherwise, there's no point in playing him. He doesn't have a ton of hit points to be a tank, and he doesn't do a ton of damage. It's that bomb right there. When that goes off, it does almost 1,000 hit points, depending on what level he is. It's pretty significant. It's enough to take out this Inferno Tower. And I have a Sparky down there, and I put my skeleton army around my Sparky. I'd like to say this also before we move on. But I love to put troops either ahead of the Sparky or around the Sparky, just like that skeleton army was right there. That skeleton army is like a force field around the Sparky, which gives the Sparky an additional amount of time to fire off his blast. He takes 5 seconds. It's a 5-second charge. That charge can be reset with a zap. So, if you have a group of skeletons around him that can absorb the minions that it just absorbed, and it can absorb the zap that it just absorbed, it gives him more time, or her, the Sparkies or her, it gives her more time to build up a charge, and that's the key to him. It's allowing that 5 seconds to build up over and over again. And it's not easy. 5 seconds might not seem like a lot of time, but in this game it seems like an infinity. So his minions and that zap took out my Sparky, and he puts the hog down coming at my tower right now all by himself with 841 hit points on my tower and 12 seconds left in the game. At this point, it doesn't look like there's any chance of me winning this game, and I'm sure Mr. Caballerooscuro is feeling pretty confident that the game is over right now. The hog makes it to my tower, and I put a furnace down way too late. Although I didn't really have any elixir, I was waiting. I had just enough elixir. I should have dropped that furnace closer to the bridge, and when the hog was closer to the bridge, I put it down too late to bring that hog, to lure that hog over to him. So that right there could have cost me the game. Very lucky that it didn't cost me the game. That bomber got down there just in time to drop one single bomb on that hog, and it was enough to take him out, leaving me with 184 hit points. And although it's only 184 hit points, it's still alive, which means we're going into sudden death overtime. And at this point, whoever loses a tower first, that's it. The game's over. And the name of the game here is get to the tower as quick as possible and take it down as quick as possible. Now, right there, I don't know what, I think I saw him waste a zap. I don't know, I might be wrong, but I think he wasted a zap there for some reason, because a zap would have been very useful on my tower right there. But in any case, I put the giant skeleton down. He's got the Inferno Tower down, he's got the Ice Wizard down, and he's got the Bomber down. 3 defensive cards in overtime. And he's obviously not planning on pushing for an attack right now. It looks like he's setting up for defense, which is the type of thing that you would do early in the game, not in the last minutes of the game. So he drops a hog down with my giant skeleton full health, my furnace sitting right there, and I put a skeleton army down to handle that hog. Now, I'm not sure why. Excuse me, I had to take a drink. I'm not sure why he played the hog there, because he knew the hog was going to get lured to my furnace. He saw a full health giant skeleton right there. That was a very bad play on his part. And I believe that play, along with the Inferno Tower that he's about to play, are the reasons why he lost the game here at this point. There are many reasons earlier in the game that both of us should have lost. But at this point in the game, I think that hog was it. Now, I've got my Sparky down on the ground. He's got an Inferno Tower there. There's 30 seconds left in the game. I've got 60 hit points. He's got 1,831 hit points. That Inferno Tower locks on my giant skeleton, and he just soaked up the damage. Throws the fire spirits down, and here comes the Sparky giant skeleton army. That's the win condition. That's what you want right there to win. That's what you're going for the entire game in this deck. You want that. If you can get the giant skeleton, the Sparky, and the skeleton army together on the other side of the bridge, there's very little that person can do. And that's usually what happens. So we end up coming out of there by the skin of our pants, by the skin of our teeth, with a 1-0 victory with only 60 hit points remaining on our tower. I hope you enjoyed that video, guys. Share it with your friends. Like, subscribe. I'm going to try to post one every day, and I promise I'll get you one up there without any legendary cards in it next time. He says, before today's over or tomorrow, I promise. Talk to you later, guys. Be easy.